Various officials who have to do with transportation are saying today that trains, our railroad system, is a soft target for terrorists. Look who's here. Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, Sheriff David Clarke. Frequent guest on the program and a welcome guest to New York City. Look, isn't it obvious that the train system is vulnerable, but isn't it equally obvious that you can't do much about it? You're a cop, you can't do much about this, can you?
Well, there are some things you can do, and you're right, we're a very open society. We want it that way, we want to keep it that way, but we're vulnerable in a lot of areas, and our transportation systems are among those. But here's what you have to do, Stuart, in order to do this efficiently and effectively. You have to use a risk-based model and do a threat assessment. So you look at train stations, you look at train routes, you look at system, right? Yeah. So you do those sorts of things, and then you use this model to take your limited resources and apply them to that. So yes, anywhere where large amounts of people used for transportation, it's done in Europe, right? They use more trains than we do here, but also cargo on those trains routes. So threat assessments and risk-based models.
But that's all you can do. Because you don't have the resources, the equipment, the manpower. You just don't have it to cover these soft targets.
No, which is why you use a risk-based model, and then you take your limited resources and say we're going to, use them more in New York where you got subways.
I'm not attacking you, Sheriff. I wouldn't do a thing like that. But I think you're in a tricky position.
Hey, crazier people have tried.
Let me move on. Ted Cruz has said, after the Brussels attack, he's in favor of patrolling Muslim neighborhoods in America. You're a cop, you would do the patrolling, you'd organize the patrolling. Would you do it?
Sure, and we already are. And in New York, they're doing it under the Handshoe Agreement, okay, which allows the NYPD and their demographics unit to go anywhere in these Muslim communities that the public is allowed to go. They do not do rolling surveillance, they do not do rogue spying, but they're looking for evidence of hot spots, they're looking for evidence of radicalization, those sorts of things. Look, we have an obligation to protect those communities as well.
But I didn't know they were doing this already.
Sure, they're doing it. Like I said,
more active patrols?
Handshoe Agreement in New York.
What's the Handshoe Agreement?
It's a court-ordered monitoring. There was a complaint made about some of the NYPD tactics to surveil Muslim communities, okay? And so they came up with this court-ordered agreement. It's just called the Handshoe. I don't know where the name comes from. But it allows NYPD to conduct certain activities where we balance the protection of civil liberties and we help defend this country, this city, this nation, our communities, my community back home, not the Handshoe Agreement, but it helps us defend against plots, against radicalization efforts. Had they done a better job in San Bernardino, they may have been able to uncover it because the neighbors knew something was up. Okay. They knew something didn't smell right, but they didn't know who to go to, and they were afraid to say anything. So we have to get over this notion that these are no-go zones. That's not fair to the Muslim communities. All right, many of these individuals do not stand for this, and they want to help as well. Well, then we have to be in those communities. They use Muslim officers that understand the language. You got Pashto, you got Arabic, you got Farsi. They understand the religion, and they understand the customs and traditions in those neighborhoods.
Got it. Sheriff David Clarke, Law Enforcement Executive Officer of the Year. That's why you're in New York, to take that award, and a welcome, well-deserved reward.
It's quite an honor. I'm humbled by it.
Anytime you want to come on the show, you can come on, okay?
Got to take you up on that.
Oh, what did I say? Thanks, Sheriff. Wisconsin votes in 6 days. And the state's media, are they piling on Donald Trump? The latest example, another radio host, another one, challenges him forcefully. So he hangs up on her. That's coming up.